Hello guys, and welcome to another tutorial. So in today's video I'm going to be showing us how to cut and sew a pencil skirt with butt contouring, and also how to attach a zipper. But the tutorial on how to attach a zipper is in the channel already. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box. So if this tutorial sounds like something you are interested in, please stay tuned even as we continue in the video. So here with me I have my material. This is an Ankara material and it is 52 inches long. So how did I get that 52 inches? The wider part of my body, which is my hips, is 42 inches plus 10 inches, which gave me 52 inches. That 10 inches is for allowances, the zipper allowance, sewing allowance, so it will cover all those. Now I divided my fabric into two and I'm folding the first part. After dividing the fabric into two, I got 26 inches for each part. So I'm going to be taking out 2 inches from the front part and I'm going to be adding it to the back part. So the front part will now be 24 inches long and the back part will be 28 inches long. So why I did this and why it's not equal is because of number one, our zip allowance, and number two, because of the butt contouring, so that we have enough allowance for what we are going to do. So moving forward now, I'm going to start marking my measurements. So I'm cutting out that part which is not needed. Then from the top of the fabric, I'm going to come down by 0.5 inches. After coming down by 0.5 inches, I'm going to draw a line across. So I'm going to start taking my markings from that 0.5 inches allowance I came down by. So for the hip, I came down by 8.5 inches. Then for the knee, I came down by, that's waist to knee, I came down by 22 inches. Then for the full length of the skirt, I'm coming down by 27 inches. So 27 inches plus 2 inches for allowance, for lining and folding allowance, because I'm going to be folding my lining, turning over my lining at the end of this skirt. So that 2 inches is needed for the allowance at the ending. So next I went ahead to mark my hip measurement, which is divided by 4, 10.5 inches. 42 divided by 4, 10.5 inches minus 1 inches. So I'm minusing 1 inches from that mark, which is going to be 9.5 inches. Then on the waist area, I'm putting my waist measurement, 28 divided by 4 plus my dart allowance, which is 1 inches, plus sewing allowance, which I added about 1.5 to 2 inches. Then I went ahead to mark my knee measurements, and my knee measurements, I minused 1 inches from the hip allowance, which is 8.5 plus the sewing allowance and normal allowance. Then at the end of the skirt, I took out ½ inch, that's at the end of the line, and I marked the measurement and I went ahead to put it down. So moving forward now, I'm going ahead to mark out the back part of the skirt. So for the back part of the skirt, I'm going to be making use of the front part, and I placed the front part of the skirt on the back fabric, as you can see, and as we can also see, there is allowance at the back. There's allowance for zip and our butt contouring, and there's also allowance for the front part. So as I continue drafting, we are going to see why. So next, now remember we took out 1 inches on the front part. So I'm going to be adding that 1 inches to the hip part. I'm going to be adding that 1 inches to the hip part, and after I add that 1 inches to the hip part, I'm going to mark it out. Then after marking it out, I'll connect it to the waistline, and I'll connect it to the waistline, not marking any inch on the waistline. So it is possible to draft the back without the front part, but for better reference, it is better to put the front part at the back part. So moving forward now, on our back part, I'm going to be marking the exact measurements, the waist measurement, the hip measurement, which is 42 divided by 4, which is 10.5, and then the knee measurement, which is our hip measurement -1. So after doing that, we are going to go ahead to join all the marks together. So this is the butt contouring part of it, where we add the extra inches, the extra allowance to the skirt, and I've gone ahead to do that. I went ahead to add that 1 inches that we took out to the back. So next, I still added my sewing allowance, which is an extra 1 inches, and I'm going to go all the way down with that 1 inches. So I'm going ahead to connect all the marks to the end for both sides of the skirt, and then after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out now, and we're going to see what we have. So it's as simple as this. Please, if there's any question regarding this cutting part and moving forward, please feel free to ask. Next, I went ahead to cut out the lining piece for the front and the back part. So, and this is what we have after cutting out the lining piece. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and sew down. So I want to just clearly state that when I was sewing, because this skirt doesn't have a band, so to turn out my pieces, I left small space at any part of the skirt. You can leave a small space at any part of the skirt, sew round, then leave a small allowance that you can use to turn out, just as seen. So this would be used to turn out the skirt. So before I forget to mention, for the darts, to attach the darts, since the skirt doesn't have band, if you are putting band, that's a different case. But in the case of this, I'm not putting band, so you can sew your dart to the lining and the main fabric before you sew round, before you attach the lining round. So I actually forgot to do this, so I'm going to be attaching my dart after I'm done with the sewing, which is still okay. So next, I'm going ahead to attach the zipper, and I already have a detailed video in the channel. You can go ahead and watch it, and I'll be leaving the link in the description box. So for the back, this is what I have. I've already gone ahead to iron my slits with my hemming gum, and also iron down the parts that I'm going to be attaching the zipper. So after attaching the zipper, this is what I have. So moving forward now, I'm going to go ahead and attach my darts. After attaching the dart, I'll join the skirts together. So when sewing down the front and back, make sure that they are both aligned. Then to the measurement, you can add 3/4 inch to 1 inch when sewing. So after sewing, I went ahead to iron out the skirt, and this is what I have. So this is the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. If you are yet to be subscribed to this channel, please hit on the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.